Khan. All right, Shalom, Shalom. All praise and honor goes to Yahweh Bashim Shai by Shalom Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders of the great millstone, and peace and blessing to the elect. There's just a couple of brothers here from our GMS Atlanta camp wanting to speak, which honestly, it pertains to prophecy, but you want to go into, just certain things that's been happening. A lot more of these different books and chapters that have been written about it's coming to pass. You got, wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. You got your global signs of things happening in the earth, but then you also got certain prophecies pertaining to what's going to happen within these different churches in Israel in the last days. That's coming to pass. It's happening now. All right, and we want to focus on 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. Because the Spirit has on Apostle Hart to bring out how we're living in the Book of Jude. And the Book of Jude, basically goes into how these guys that crept in unawares, mainly within Great Millstone, it was prophesied that these things were going to happen. Okay, he was going to fall out and start teaching other things, and how they were basically going to come in, but not really be a part of the fold.
All
right. But when you read 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, it's basically the same thing. Okay. So let's just go ahead and jump right in it, and let's bring these.
If I could start off with a scripture.
Yeah. Done.
All right. This is just to really kick off the brother's point. This is Proverbs 26:11. It says, "As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly." Right, and like the brother's saying, man, it's being made manifest and clear that a lot of guys are going back into the bullshit. All right, they going back as a dog returns to his vomit. And you really don't have to break that scripture down, but it really just lines it up to where this lesson is going. These guys that crept in unawares and that didn't count the cost, or they don't want to change the doctrine. All right, ultimately they're gonna spew out the things that they've been taught, and that's exactly what's going on.
Con, I got a precept for your precept, bro. This is Ecclesiasticus 21:14. The inner parts of a fool are like a broken vessel, and he will hold no knowledge as long as he liveth. And that's why you guys that kept in unawares, you spewing out, man. You are a broken vessel. You're not useful to pushing this word out, man. And the Lord is not going to allow you to hold this knowledge, man. You're going to corrupt it, or it's going to seep out of you, and you're not going to teach no more. Okay.
Right.
But Con, you want to pull that 2 Timothy, bro?
Yeah, Con. Let's get that, because it's just a matter of time before the Lord actually starts doing what He said to judging these guys. The scripture says that judgment shall begin at the house of the Most High. So for those men that knew they were Israelites, came in here and had ulterior motives, they fell weak, and they weren't praying about being built back up and being restored in the spirit. The Lord has something coming. But these things that's happening mainly amongst Great Millstone, amongst ourselves, you see different men from different camps and offshoots of Great Millstone, these different camps, bringing out different things in the doctrine that's not true. You got the 12 tribe sign controversy. You got America's not Babylon the Great. Even the name of the Lord is not important. Doesn't matter how you pronounce the name. Even that's seeping out there into the video streams. So we're going to address these things in the scripture because that's prophecy as well. Right? So, and we're in the year of prophecy. All right. The brother that has it, can go ahead.
God.
You want to start at 1?
Yeah, Khan. Start at the top. We're gonna go through the whole chapter.
Okay, Khan. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come.
Right. Now
For men.
Those perilous times are pertaining to the different events and turmoils and things that's happening in the earth. It's all kind of news reports of people getting killed and shot and families dying and things like that, to where the Lord is frequently not just killing 1 or 2 people at a time, and 3 weeks later, you hear another news report, but you're hearing multiple reports of multiple people dying every week now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Perilous times. These wars in the Middle East are brewing up. Okay, World War III, and just different things in America is happening that show you that we're in the end. So in these last days, we're in perilous times. The famine of the surprise. So we have to understand what time that we're living in. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
All right, verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
Right. Now this is part of the meat of the chapter, because that's what we're seeing now.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing guys that lovers of their own selves, they're seeking their own glory, bringing in different parts of the doctrine and the truth that they weren't taught by the apostles. For example, you got this guy Nazariah in Chicago, right, who broke off on the main Chicago camp. They got kicked out or whatever that situation was. But they were separated, and now they started their own thing, but they're teaching a whole nother doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
They started off with trying to identify the tribe of Dan, okay? But there's no scriptures pertaining to who the tribe of Dan is today, okay? Then they started teaching about a lot of these doctrines right now. The Great Millstone is basically flowing through Nazariah in Chicago, and also them guys in Detroit, as well. Got these guys are just teaching doctrines that they weren't taught, man. Claiming and saying that the spirit, the house of God came to them themselves instead of being taught by men. That's part of that being unthankful and disobedient to parents, because our spiritual parents in this truth that really reared us up and gave us the understanding were the apostles of the Great Millstone. All the while you got these things in the earth happening. So we're seeing from verse to verse right now, we're seeing the things in Timothy happening. Okay?
God, the book of Jude as well.
Right? And also the book of Jude. These scriptures are speaking right now. If you go to the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, it said that the vision was written for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak.
That's
We're
right.
seeing these things speak. You want to say something, Knox?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing, bro. That's right. That's it. This is the time of speaking right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I didn't mean.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. So go, Rock. If you want to go back to verse 2.
Okay. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
Yeah, man. Like you got this guy Nazariah talking about calling apostle the hard T God. You know, just openly going against a man like that. You know, honorable man, a man that during his faith time he came into the school in New York all the way up until now, and just held on to his faith. This guy that's only been in the truth less than 10 years, by the way, okay, has the nerve and the audacity to proudly and boldly speak against the man and disrespect him. This is our elder, the elder apostle here, as far as understanding, but he's being a pure example of these things, and not just him, okay. But the same thing is going down in Detroit. The same thing is going down here in Atlanta, okay. With these guys teaching the truth, they're doing and saying the same thing. You know?
Yeah. Hey, just being ungrateful. You know, that's basically what they're doing is just being like the brothers. You know, reading basically the points that these guys are doing. It. You know, they just lovers of themselves, man, being proud, trying to make a name for themselves. Here it is. We in the midst of all the prophecies getting ready to be fulfilled, as far as the microchip, World War III, martial law, you know, wars, rumors of wars, the famine, the pestilence, the famine and the pestilence with this E. coli outbreak. All right, all these prophecies that's coming to pass, and you want to be seen by men. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be proud and shit. Go ahead, Con.
This is Ecclesiasticus 7:4. It says, "Seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor." And truth be told, Nazariah, you just want Tahar seat, man. You want Apostle Tahar seat. Okay? He is the top ruler of Israel. Okay? Hey, the doctor, Yahweh Shai, that spirit is flowing through Apostle Tahar, man. Okay? And you're in violation of the scriptures. You're not supposed to be seeking preeminence. You're not supposed to want the seat of the top elder, man.
Right. That's it. He's giving off the spirit of preeminence, because instead of continuing in the things that he learned and have been assured of, all right, which according to him, he may not be assured of them things now, but if you're in the spirit of truth, you know that they taught us the truth. But instead of continuing, he wants to bring about things that appear deep. You know, he's appearing. He wants to appear more deep than the apostles, because the apostles never went into Dan. You know, apostles didn't sit here and just change. Now they may have added to certain things that their elders had brought out, but they didn't just change it up and switch it up. You know.
Hey, you know what cuts that?
And certain things were they had to be changed. It was proven true. You know, it was proven true. You know.
Hey, real quick, I was gonna say what cuts that tribe of Dan is Revelation chapter 7. It doesn't mention Dan at all in the 12,000 and 144,000. So how can you bring that up? That doesn't even make sense.
Let me add to that. Paul, and I'm gonna quote Paul. Paul said, and I quote and loosely paraphrase, "You are my brothers, Israelites, in accordance to the flesh. The flesh of Dan is not here anymore. Dan is dead, man. And knowing who Dan is not meat for salvation, man. You don't need to know who Dan is to get up out of here. The scriptures say we know in part and prophesy in part."
Right, in part. That's right. That's
right. You think the one, for example, bro, you think the 1/3 gonna know as much about the scriptures as the elect? No, but they're gonna be saved. And the elect don't know all there is to know. in regards to what's going on with everything, including what happened to Dan and where they are today or whatever the case may be. We know they're gone. They're not here anymore. That's all that matters. Dan is gone. That's it.
Hey, we don't know what happened. You know, we don't know what happened, but it's gonna be revealed to us. You know,
Con.
and like brother just said, these aren't things that we should harp on, right? Now, another thing, not just Nazariah, you got this these guys in Detroit, all right? So-called Good Samaritans speaking about how the 12 tribe sign of High Priest Ariah was made up. You know, it's not true. It's not according to scriptures. It's not according to the prophecies. All right. Now, when you watch the video that Shy Tried and Refine did, they used the clip of this elder guy, all right, this elder man from the past, which he was around Abba Bivens at the time, and he basically spoke about how the tribe sign or the chart that Abba Bivens had. He said that basically what Abba Bivens had told another member, which wasn't even him anyway. Okay, but the guy in the video, you see, he wasn't the one that Abba Bivens had spoken to. It was another man, Daniel. Okay, all right. Which is also known as read the book, but that's when you go into the history and you actually watch what the man was saying. But basically, he was saying how the hook of the 12 tribes chart that Abba Bivens had, that's what he said it was a hook. Now, when you listen to that interview and that account of what the man said on the video, there was how he explained it from his words was you had the Jamaicans was part of one tribe, the people of Barbados was of another tribe, right? So forth and so on. When you go into our chart, the chart that we have, the chart that came from High Priest Ariah, it doesn't say that the Jamaicans are one tribe and the people of Barbados are another tribe. Okay, the West Indians, including the Jamaicans and the people of Barbados and some of the other islands, all pertain to the tribe of Benjamin. So, quite possibly, there could have been another chart. It may have been, that chart. Now, that chart could have been a reference that High Priest already used, but from what he said on video, it wasn't necessarily the chart. If you want to go, by his words, and that's neither here or there, which it doesn't matter. But you would have to get the information from him. You would have to actually see what he said on that. So to use that clip is kind of like you still really don't know exactly what went down. The man is an elderly man. His memory could serve him right, or he could miss a couple of things. But this is why you have to be careful about what you're bringing out, as far as trying to change doctrines and try to tweak what's been taught. You gotta make sure you vet these videos and you vet these articles, and you gotta make sure that you are giving out thorough information. Because you could have been misled on what you heard. You gotta be careful. And I don't mean to be too long-winded, but that was just something that in spirit I had noticed when I was just going into certain things and just in the spirit own study. And it was just, like there was some even discrepancies in that, But going back to the guys in Detroit, that's basically, where they're going there with the 12 tribe sign is wrong and this is 49 and the prophecies are right. And, it's just things that, and if that's the case, then who are the tribes today? And then they say that we don't know who the tribes are, but they're Israelite. Well, you can't be an Israelite if you don't know what tribe you're from. You know, you just know you're Israelite. What tribe you from?
I got a
But the
precept.
nation that
Sounds
Israel is tribes. Go ahead.
I got a precept for you. This is Ecclesiasticus 11:7. It says, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, and then rebuke." Okay. Now, as a writer, you don't have access to the man that told that man what you're so-called using to make your point. Therefore, man, you don't have no valid points or reference points to make your statement, man. You in violation. You're going off again. You're supposed to dive all the way into the matter, man. If someone says something, you're supposed to go talk to them. See what they said. You're not supposed to play the he say, she say game with Israel, man.
Yeah, man. You know, as men of the Lord, we're supposed to hold ourselves accountable of the, of the Lord's word.
gone.
You know, and you will ultimately have to talk to High Priest Ariah. He will have
Con,
to come back, and he will have to come and speak on the origins of the 12 tribes chart. You know how the Spirit gave it to him, and what happened. You know, but we'll see what happens. In the Spirit. But that's what will have to happen. It will have to be witnesses. You know, we're
that's right.
generations later, man. He was born when Apostle Hart came into truth, most of it. So it's just a lot of things that have been has coming out within the past 2 weeks, and when you read the scriptures, these things are spoken about. You know, so let's go back to Timothy, 2 Timothy, and let's go back to verse 3.
Verse 3.
Come.
All right. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 3. Without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, inconvenient, if I'm saying it correctly, inconvenient,
Was it incontinent?
incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
Right. This is the spirit of all them guys, man. Teachers of truth, ITR, Good Samaritans, and these other guys. Talking about all the 12 tribes of black and all of that. As far as the false accusers goes, that's what they're doing. Especially the guys that offshoot from Great Millstone, they're falsely accusing High Priest Ariel when he had spoken on how he came up with the 12 tribes chart himself. It's been mostly accounts from the apostles. They spoke on it, but I mean, if you want to get down to the bottom of it, he would have to speak on how he came out with it, you know.
Right. And from what Apostle Tahar, from what our apostle said, the Spirit came onto him.
Mm-hmm.
It was a spiritual thing that happened. And then for these guys to say that he was wrong, you don't believe in the Spirit of the Lord, then ultimately you do not believe in the Spirit of the Lord, man.
Right.
You
and
telling
how
me that
the Spirit is.
God, hey, you telling me that the Spirit, didn't come to this man to start off what he started off and to lead us from where he led us to the Spirit came to y'all with these new breakdowns in the last days? You telling me that all these prophecies that have been fulfilled and all the works of the men before us are gonna be in vain because you decided to come up with some shit? Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, man.
Yeah.
The scriptures say be persuaded in your own mind, man. At the end of the day, you just a non-fucking believer. It's lucky for my words, though, but I gotta say it that way.
Yeah, you get angry because when you think about it, and you're we can clearly see what's going on in these times today, man. And it's just hard to believe that now all of a sudden, after years of work have been put in,
right.
All of a sudden now in 2018, we don't have the tribes right. Babylon is not America. the missiles are going to destroy. You know, or
Oh man.
it's just the nuclear missiles ain't the way the Lord gonna destroy it. It's just a lot of things that's you know is coming that has been coming out in the last few months that and my thing is, well, where's the fruit? Where's the other guy that's going to come out there in the highways and byways and teach the same exact thing that you guys are teaching?
Right.
There should be fruit. Yahweh said, you should know them by their fruit.
That's right.
So that's yet to be seen. So there would have to be something to happen within the next couple months to see, hey, let's see a camp in Wyoming open up that teaches the same thing that I try to refine is teaching.
Okay. I got a precept, bro.
But anyway, yeah, come.
Okay, Con. This is 2 Peter chapter 2 and 12. It says, but these as natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. And that's right. You know what? At the end of the day, you Nazariah and the rest of you fall out. You never really understood, man. You went along to get along. Okay? You had your feel-good experience, and it's finna come, hey, that experience has been brought to an utter end, man. Okay? And you're being exposed for what you truly are, man. You just y'all are some wicked niggas, and whatever you did in the past to piss the Lord off and blind you unto the whole truth, you're finna be brought to judgment for that, man. And judgment is here, man. Judgment is right around the corner. As the brother Kasab said earlier, man, there's so many signs. The signs are so thick in the air, you could damn near cut it with a butter knife, man. It's there, man. It's time. It's just time for judgment. That's why niggas is falling out. That's why niggas are coming against the doctrine. It's just time, bro.
And this is just, these guys are an example of what we're reading here. They're an example of being unholy. They're an example of being blasphemous. Hey, I'd rather blaspheme the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. He said we're not going to, that little Passover lesson they did, that they had, where he said, we're not going to debate on how you pronounce the name of the Lord, man.
Yeah.
And the Lord going to deal with them for that.
Ain't no coming back from that. Ain't no coming back from blaspheming the name of the Lord, man.
That's right. It ain't no coming back. And you niggas are cursed, okay? You added or took away from the doctrine, man. You have subjected yourself to the curse of the last chapter of Revelation.
All right, now let's keep reading. Where we at? Verse 4.
Con.
Hey,
we
got about 3 minutes left.
We'll do a part 2 if y'all got time.
Yeah, yeah. We can close out and then do a part 2.
Okay,
and,
Con.
just finish it out.
Okay, Con. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right here, and then I'll start another meeting, and we can all join back in and reset up.
All right, Con. All right, Shalom.
All right, Shalom.
All right, we live. Go ahead.
All right, Con. Yeah, Rock. If you wanna start back, we're doing a part 2, so we have the brother Rock start back at let's start at 1, and then just read down, and then the spirit of
Read verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural effect, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High.
Right. Now this would pertain to who we were speaking about in the first part, right? Is shy, tried and refined, the good Samaritans, teachers of truth. Those are the three main, groups that came from Great Millstone that we see teaching these different doctrines, and that's being an example of coming with the truth. Okay, being traitors, being heady and high-minded, thinking the Spirit is dealing exclusively with them, as if the apostles' works are not, and it's just all been based upon lies. I was telling the brothers previously, before we just, we started back recording, that there's a lot of history to Israel, and it's been a lot of guys that came from Abba Bivens and High Priest Ariah from that was taught among them that started their own thing in the 60s and 70s. So it's not anything new. So now, fast forward 30, 40 years later, now the YouTube is happening, within Great Millstone. So there's going to be a time when the Lord is going to stop these guys that's not teaching the truth and following the right spirit. Okay? And here you got Paul, warning Timothy about these guys that's going to start teaching these things in the last days. All right? So you keep going up.
All right. This verse 5, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away.
Right. So you got to turn away from these guys that are denying the power of the Lord. The fact that the 12 tribes sign or 12 tribes chart was revealed to High Priest Ariah, through the Spirit. That was a miraculous thing through the power of the Lord. And hey, through faith, he got it, and through faith, he taught it. And we believe, hey, this whole truth that we have is about faith. So it's about your belief. But you got people that deny the power of the Lord, man. Okay? These guys deny the power of the Lord. And they don't ultimately understand what they're doing. But hey, the Lord said he's going to choose their delusions. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, verse 6. For of this sort are they which crept into houses, silly women laden within. All right.
All right, come on. So, go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 3, with verse 6. For of this sort women laden with sin, led away with divers lusts, ever learning and never able to come to knowledge of the truth.
There's these guys, man, they ever learning, ever deep, ever getting it, different parts of the scriptures that they weren't taught explanation, the explanation on, and they're basically coming up with their own understanding, and they're not acknowledging the truth. They're not getting the knowledge of the truth with it. But like I said earlier, because you have to be mixed with faith, man. Faith is your faith is what helps steer your belief in the scriptures.
That's right.
Okay.
Steer your understanding in the scripture, because you have to believe that Yahweh Bashan has given men in the earth to guide you correctly. So you know what spirit to follow. But if you don't believe that the apostles are the men of the Lord and they don't have it, or High Priest Ariah or Elder Abba Bivens had the understanding of the tribes and things like that, in other matters, then you don't have faith. You know?
Yeah. Faithless men. Faithless and fearless men.
Right.
When I
Hey,
say fearless, I don't mean as bold. I mean as goddamn non-believers. You know?
Verse 8. Now, as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith.
See? See?
Yeah, that's
They
them.
they're withstanding the truth. Or they're withstanding it's like they're resisting the truth. Okay? Because like I said, to be an Israelite, you gotta be of a particular tribe. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
certain people on this side of the world, North Central South America, they're of those 12 tribes. Somebody has to be of Ephraim. Somebody has to be of Manasseh. A particular people have to. And when you go into Genesis 49 and Deuteronomy 33, it mentions parts of land, resources of land. Then when you look on this side of the world, it gives you clues and ideas, and it points you to be a part of that.
That's right.
Or pertain to it. And it's the spirit through faith is what guides you into getting the true understanding. But that's why, but like I said, the spirit, they reprobate concerning the faith, meaning they're without the judgment. They can't judge the tribes because they don't have the faith. They lost it. Whatever oil they had, whatever little amount of oil they had, as the scripture says, that the Lord took that even that which they had. So as concerning the faith, they're without judgment. So they have no business teaching. You know?
that's right.
Hey, that's
Go ahead.
right.
Verse 9. But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was.
But they shall proceed no further. So there's going to be a point when the Lord is going to start jacking these guys up and judging them for their folly, man. And their folly is getting ready to be made manifest. See, it's being taught and it's coming out, but there's something that Yahweh Bashan Washah has in the spirit that he's cooking up. All right, he's cooking this. He's cooking something up in the spirit that's going to show how foolish they were, and he's going to manifest it to everybody. And it's going to be known who the men of the Lord are, and who really has the true understanding on these scriptures.
Con.
And we just have to be patient, test our souls, continue the things that we were taught, follow the spirit, stay in order, all right, and do as we're ordered to do. Commanded to do from our leadership. And Yahweh Bashan Washah is going to do the rest. He's going to give the increase. Okay?
Con.
So read that again.
Verse 9. But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was.
Yeah.
But thou hast gone.
Well, I'm just going to say, so before this whole YouTube thing is ended, the Lord could very well manifest that these guys were full of folly, and things come out on video, and certain men bring out certain accounts from the past that give the true understanding of what happened, and they be found out to be liars and blasphemers and unholy, and their sins be revealed. But time will tell on how the Lord's going to do it. But the scripture says that they shall proceed no further, so we're going to see what Yahweh Bashan Washah does. And he said it. He's not a man that he should lie. Okay? You got it right.
Okay, verse 10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long suffering, charity, patience.
Yeah. So but we know what the Spirit has given to our apostles and their elders and things. We know the doctrine, right? As for us, we understand that. We understand the faith and everything that they've done for us and all the works they did. Like the brother Bob said, man, all of a sudden it's just gonna be that these guys got it, telling me Apostle Hart, everything that he believed in and everything that he's done for the faith for the past 32 plus years hasn't amounted to nothing, because of the fact that they taught the 12 tribes were, who they are on the sign that we have today. All right, because according to them, these guys, everything that they've taught, they've deleted their past videos because of that one little piece of leaven that they say the 12 chart is. So that means everything that the apostles have done in the past has to be erased because they taught that chart according to their logic.
So then how can you teach the Hebrew then?
Right. How can you teach because the Lashawan Kodash came through, High Priest Ariah and Elder Abba Bivens, King Masha. All right.
How do you break down Genesis 1:1 then?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
How do you break your name down?
Yep.
How
This is madness, man.
How do you know your colors?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know your
This
colors?
shit is like you man.
Hey man.
Hey, like they shall proceed no further. The Lord's going to do something to stop. Right? Scripture says that his mouth must be stopped.
Yeah, come.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 11. Persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me as Antioch and as Iconium and Lystra, what persecutions I endure, but out of them all of the Lord delivered me.
Right. So the Lord delivered Paul through all that he believed in. The Lord delivered him. Same thing today. There were things that, that happened in One West that the apostles and elders of Great Millstone were delivered out of. There were things that happened in the past during with High Priest Ariah and King Masha, Abba Bivens that they were delivered out of as concerning getting the truth out there to the Israelites. There were things that happened, and the Lord delivered them. So the Spirit was with them. It brought this truth this far, okay? Because them other guys that split from One West, like I said, going back to Abba Bivens and High Priest Ariah and King Masha, all right? There were men and brothers that they learned under and taught with and things like that. Where are they at? Did they go out on the highways and hedges? Was it something that, why is not One West Israelites and other groups in the forefront? It's just One West Israelites. So the Lord has to be in the spirit of One West, for pushing the truth out there like that. Because although you got other guys in, Israelite that didn't necessarily learn under One West or continue with One West, they weren't the ones that got on YouTube and made this thing all over the world. It was the different groups that came out of One West. So there were things that even in these times today, men endured to push this truth that the Lord helped deliver out of certain situations to get this truth out there to us, man. So we can have it today. That's why you gotta give double honors. Go ahead, Art.
Verse 12, yea, and all that will live godly in Yahweh Shai shall suffer persecution.
Right. So now, to us brothers that learn on the apostles today in GMS, we're suffering a level of persecution by teaching what we've been taught, concerning the 12 tribes. So we have to defend the gospel, because the gospel, it talks about the 12 tribes that were scattered. It talks about the different prophecies of the tribes, and 144,000 and 12,000 each tribe. So we have to defend that, and Lord willing, we do a good job defending the gospel, defending what we've been taught, because there's good news to know that this brother came from the tribe of Judah, or this brother's of the tribe of Asher, or this brother's of the tribe of Benjamin, and we're being persecuted for it from other Israelites that think that we're going off. We suffer and we endure it on the elect's sake.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
And these guys are being deceived, man.
Yeah.
ITR is deceived. TOT is deceived. Good Samaritans are deceived, man. And then waxing worse and worse. When they first started, they was teaching what the apostles had taught them. But over the past year, maybe 2 years, these guys are waxing worse and worse in their doctrine. First, the 12 tribes are who's on the chart. Now the 12 tribes aren't. Now they delete their videos, and then they're starting a whole new thing. They're worse off than what it was before.
Yeah.
But when you gonna start though? The question is how can you start anything? You can't unlearn everything you fucking learned, man. This is not the shit that you learned in the world. This is the shit that you've learned through the spirit. Salaki, the things you've learned through the spirit. So it's like, how do you even? Where do you base your foundation off of, and even beginning to start over?
Yeah. Niggas, they gonna start coming out their own mind with shit. This is just gonna get worse, like the scriptures say.
Well, it's already happened. They already coming out of their own minds, man.
But what I'm saying is, Akim, listen to my question, right? How you gonna start off with a new teaching, all right? But when everything you break down, you learn from the apostles and the elders.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Even doing a video, you're right, and even doing a video on the couch or doing a sit down in the house, that didn't come from IUIC.
God,
right.
Salaki. But that didn't come from IUIC or ISUPK. The apostles were the ones that was in their houses and doing them weekly elders of and apostles of Great Millstone videos every week, and doing sit downs and going to the park and doing on locations. That came from Great Millstone. They're the one that put that vibration out there,
Okay.
So now what are you going to restart from?
Yeah, cause the nigga act like the Lord himself can't coming down and dealing with him exclusively.
That's how
that's what he acting like. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nigga got the nerve to say that, but when the spirit came onto the elder Ariel to give us the 12 tribe signs, that wasn't possible.
Right. But he dealing with you though.
Right. You and 5 other guys. With no fruit. With no fruit now.
Hey, you know what though, bro? The spirit been gone from them niggas. It was a time when Nazariah, they was out there teaching and he disappeared. Him specifically for like a week or so. And then he came back, so he had lost he forgot everything. He couldn't recall none of the breakdown that he learned. Okay, the Lord took the spirit from you then. Now he just embarrassing you, nigga. Not just being humiliated.
Hey, we don't know what happened in that particular period specifically, but we can say what did happen, what we do have evidence of, they lost the oil, man.
That's right.
They lost the oil. But when you go away from, the source, if you're not drinking the milk no more, from your parents, so to speak, your mother, then you're not getting nutrition. So you're lacking nutrition, so you get deficient. So you start dying, and what you see is that these guys are dying in the spirit,
I
man.
mean, they spiritually starving to death.
Yeah,
Con.
they got spiritual scurvy.
God.
You know, you niggas out there just been out there winnowing.
Yeah, that's why niggas are not falling asleep.
God, bro. Yeah, man. No, hey, your whole congregation don't got the spirit, bro. You the only one pushing that shit, man. None of those other dudes could stand on their own and have their own page and teach the same thing you're teaching, man.
There you go.
Hey, like the scriptures just said, deceived and deceiving and being deceived.
That's right.
They're deceived. But if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch.
God.
And we're just waiting for that ditch to open up for them to get swallowed up by it. All right. So let's keep reading that.
All right. Verse 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hasn't been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned
right,
them.
and this is a lesson to us. This is speaking for us, brothers. We're to continue. He says, but you continue in the things which you will learn. These other guys, the Lord's going to, he's going to deal with them changing the doctrine. He's going to deal with them bringing out these heresy, things like that. But as for us, we're to continue in these things, knowing whom we learn from. And we're assured of in the Spirit, by the Holy Spirit, through faith.
That's right.
We call these guys out. We speak on these things because the Spirit is ultimately going to do what? Stop them. So their folly has to be manifested. But the Lord has the prophets out here to speak about these things first, so he'll be justified in doing it. Okay? In stopping them. Keep going, brother.
Verse 15, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise until salvation through faith which is in Yahweh Shai.
Right. So it's all about the faith in Yahweh Shai. And we known about the faith of Yahweh Shai, not calling him anything you want to call him. This guy Nazareth. Nah, man, we know about even that name of Yahweh Shai, and we're going to continue in these things that we have been assured of that he gave our elders and our teachers, which to this day is proving itself to be right via the prophecies. Okay? And that's what, man. And we go on the things that pertain to our salvation. Prophecies going to our salvation, understanding the wisdom and things how to walk in the world, being in His truth. That's what's going to help us survive, and so we can be saved by believing in Yahweh Shai and following these guidelines, man. Through the men of the Lord and the prophets in the scriptures, the things that were written aforetime, things that are going to make us wise, saved from Yahweh Shai. He's the deliverer. You got it right.
Verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
That's right. That's right. So if the tribes were scattered, and we're just harping, I'm gonna use the 12 tribes chart controversy as an example of what he's saying here, because it says when you read James, the first chapter, that the tribes were scattered, the 12 tribes were scattered. All right. So James himself was writing to the scattered 12 tribes. So that means they didn't have all the records. So it was through the Spirit that they would get an understanding of what particular tribe they came from. Wouldn't that continue on until today. You see? All right. So that's why the scriptures themselves are inspired by the Lord for doctrine, okay, for instruction. So we'll have a guide from Yahweh Shai on how to live and how to teach and grow in the spirit. Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 17, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
Right. So this is about perfection. You know, at one time the understanding of the tribes wasn't known, but through the spirit it was perfected. That was one thing in the truth. That language, Lashawan Quadash. All right. At one point, you know, a lot of the Yiddish and, you know, certain words in the Yiddish was, you know, being, you know, the Ben Israels and all of that was being spoken. But then the understanding came out and we got the Lashawan Quadash. You understand that by faith, you know? And other things in the faith, the Israelite foreigners, the thing with, you know, the Cornelius situation that came out through the apostles going back to the old school. That was something of faith that we got the understanding of, you know, through the spirit. So there's always things that of the truth that the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai is going to bring out, you know. All right. He's not going to turn back and do away with it, but he's going to add onto it and give us a better understanding. All right. So we may be perfected, you know. But that's why we got to continue to do these good works in the spirit and edify the elect, you know. But and with that, you know, that's the end of the chapter. You know, the spirit, you know, it just goes to show you that this word is living, you know. You know, things that were written to the men, you know, 2,000 years ago, that same thing applies today. And we got to watch out for the same things and the same sort of men that in this faith now are being made examples as being the same thing that the ancient, you know, the ancient men or the other, you know, prophets from the past was warned about. You know, this is all about being circumspect in the spirit, and you know, of course, we examine ourselves as well. You know, but with that, any brother got anything else to say?
No, well.
That's it, bro.
All right.
Yeah, well, you know, with that, I'm going to end it. I hope everyone that watched the video was edified. You know, we had a few battles with Satan, you know, trying to get this out, but you know, the Spirit allowed us to persevere in the end. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect and the sincere brothers and sisters. Until the next lesson, say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.